All right, welcome back. Lewis will not stop talking about this CIF All-Century Spring Team.
It's such an awesome.
It really is.
It's such an awesome exercise, and going back and looking at this stuff. You have 2007, Bryshawn Nellum, Long Beach Poly Olympian, who got shot, and is recovered and is going to probably be in contention for going to the Olympics again. You look at this list: Ricky Fowler, he's on the PGA Tour right now. I'm just going through these, and it's a fascinating list. You go on the CIFC website, and you can look this up, and you can look at really the spectacular history of California athletics. I mean, obviously, we're the largest, state by population in the union. We're going to have some great athletes, but when you look at this sort of, they were great in high school. Larson Jensen, Olympian, right?
Yeah.
From Mission Viejo. You look at these, Haley Pearsall from Newport Harbor, girls swimming, also an Olympian. Allison Felix, an Olympian. That was in 2003. You look at these lists, you see this great history of guys, of athletes who have competed at the highest level. So here's a good one here. Anthony Kim on the PGA Tour, I believe. Aaron Pearsall, an Olympian, Olympic gold medalist. Ryan Hall, Olympian, two-time Olympian. It's a pretty fascinating group of people to look at.
Well, let's look at the fascinating group that we have here. So we have the current invitational track meet at Liberty tomorrow, starting at 3:30 with the field events, and at 4 o'clock. And to me, it's a really good look to see who is the best here in Kern County. Obviously, Menachie has a couple guys in the field also. But, John, let's go ahead and pull this up. I put together a top 10 athletes to watch tomorrow at the current invitation. Obviously, number one on our list is Morgan Hill, who is, state placer in the 100 and the 300 hurdles. Her time last Friday at East Bakersfield. Here she is in the Valley Championship Finals last year at Buchanan. Nice. Slow start as you kind of wanted to, get on her about real slow start.
The thing about Morgan Hill, though, is that if you look at she's a workout fiend, basically, and she has the ability to recover. And see
look how she just goes.
She's
right
so
here.
strong in the middle of the race, and so the hurdles is not about leg strength; it's about balance, and it's about her upper body strength. And Morgan is unique in that sense that she's such a hard worker, and she has both those attributes. And so I think she's going to have races where she's going to be not going to have a great start. Isaac Trevino.
And the thing for her, too, is that she's not just a hurdler for Liberty, because up until Valley, she's going to be one of the top competitors in the 200 and the 400. Yeah. She's part of that 4x4. She's part of that 4x4 team that qualified for state, and all four components are back for them, and they're going to be racing again tomorrow. So you just look at her as a full package.
This is why I'm kind of curious to see how she's going to manage the season, because
Well, if you look at it right now, she ran a 43:38 in the 300 on Friday, in front of a field where she bested everybody by at least 6 seconds. So she's doing that without anybody pushing her from behind.
Right.
So if she's setting a time right now in the mid 43s. She was at 42:06 last year.
Yeah. She wants to. She wants to go sub 42 this year.
Yeah, and I talked to Ryan Renz yesterday, and that's the biggest goal is just incrementally getting her better as they go on, and she'll see more competition at the Rayford Johnson Invite next month, and then you go down to Arcadia. They're April 10th and 11th, so you'll see a lot of that. Let's look at that list again. Another state placer, Isaac Trevino.
Trevino, he really came on strong at the end of the season at the right time, and so I got to give credit to Avondre Armour, who coaches him. Who also is a former state champion at that distance. Isaac really ran well, and I expect big things from him this year. Will he have a breakout year this year? It could very well.
Well, he's going to be pushed time and time again by Curtis Threckhold, who the two of them are in the top 10 in the 800 right now. So it'll be really interesting to see how they go against each other on Friday.
The thing that's interesting about that is Threckhold has that legitimate speed at the 400, 200 range. Isaac's more of a lanky kind of fluid runner than Curtis is.
But you got to love Curtis's leg strength going around the turns in the 400.
Right. Yeah, he's a really he's really quick. He's really fast. He's a hardworking kid too. Isaac Trevino's very good. That'd be a great matchup to see those two young men running that 800 meters.
And these are in no list other than the two with Morgan Hill and Isaac Trevino because they're the two state placers.
Maggie Baker.
She had a breakout year in cross country coming back. She's got one of the top times at 3200. She'll be she'll go up against Camille Campos, who was the area top area runner in cross country this year. Alex Gallen, a guy that's going to Yale on a football scholarship as a punter. Good hurdler, both in the 110 and the 300. John, let's go to the bottom 5 there. Not really bottom 5. Darius Smith, junior for Ridgeview, tried to tell me that he was a 4.3, 4.4 in the 40, and I'm starting to believe it now. This guy's got times. He's in the low 11s right now. He's going to break down into the 10s, 10.7 in that
a 4.34
area.
is not
It's not obtainable most of the time.
No, 4.34 is. I mean, most high school kids can run 4.6, 4.7 in that range.
Yeah, if you're running 4.5,
if you're running
I'm
10.3, 100 meters, that's a different story.
But Darius Smith is part of that Ridgeview, the 400 relay team that's going to go up against BHS, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And you put Liberty in there with Anthony Mariscal and Quincy Jaunty. That's a great team, too. So we've got 3 really good 400 relay teams between BHS, Ridgeview, and Liberty. What I love to see about that, all 3 of those teams chock full of football players.
Yeah.
Guys that are playing, too.
Matt Smith is the guy that could probably, if he got everything together, could be a state champion in the discus. He's not quite the guy in the shot, but in the discus, he definitely has the right. He's so long, he's not huge, but he's so long and powerful. He's got those great arms to get to really extend that discus, and he could be a threat to win that thing. Yep. Everything comes together for him. The biggest challenge of that discus up at Buchanan is the fact that it's so darn hot. Usually when they're competing for that event,
they try to shade it there right off of Minnewawa, but it still doesn't help. Yeah. Another one, Alicia Viveros from Liberty, sophomore thrower, really has kind of come into her own. She's got the top time in the section, 130 feet, 3 inches, and she's besting Alyssa Kingler out of Shafter, who was a state qualifier last year. So the sophomore kind of coming up and showing her own. And then Bryce Huggins, 23 feet even in the long jump, just behind Joey Souza at a Kingsburg, who is top 100 runner, top 200 runner, and long jumper. Took second in the state last year, heading to UNC. So Bryce Huggins jumping 23 feet. I mean, that's a huge jump. That would, at last year's state tournament, that would have put him 4th in state at 23 feet. So if he continues doing that, and then you have Lawrence White, who's right behind them, about 21 and a half feet right now. There's a lot of great athletes.
One of the things that I love about
Juliana Finch.
Juliana Finch. Garcia's got a lot of good kids.
Pole vault,
They've got some. Got Juliana Finch there. They've got some kids in the distance races.
Michaela Romanini out of Bakersfield, another cross-country runner that's doing really well in the 400 and the 200. So you like to see her. I know that Morgan is not going to run the 200 or the 400 individually tomorrow. She's going to concentrate on the hurdles and the 4x4.
It's going to be really interesting to see what she's going to end up doing this season, because I think she's
hosting
definitely
this show.
She'll probably host the show, I would think, at some point. But it'll be interesting to see, her development. She kind of took cross country off, which was interesting to me because she really had she showed some great versatility with running cross country, and she was definitely one of our better.
Well, she was dealing with a lot of recruiting and stuff like that. She had to narrow her decision, decided to go to University of Washington, which is a great track program.
The thing I think you're going to look at, she's going to be the story of the girls, and the boys. Curtis Threlkeld and Isaac Trevino are going to be 2 of the better stories there. But again, Huggins and some of these other kids, the kids from Ridgeview, we're going to see some breakout performances. I'm pretty excited about seeing those.
Yep. Okay, so big weekend ahead. Obviously, Independence girls, who were our guests earlier today, Saturday 6 p.m. in the D2
boys.
In the D2 semifinals. South boys playing at 4:00 in an hour. They're playing Servite in the D2 semifinals for the SoCal Regionals. Winner there goes to the finals on Saturday. We got the Kern Invitational for track and field. Lewis and myself will both be out there tomorrow. And then baseball, softball, boys tennis, boys golf, all going.
Can't wait.
So thanks for joining us here. Always check us out on Twitter and Instagram at BVarsity Live, and like us on Facebook, BVarsity Live. For our directors, Chris McCullough and John Farron, and obviously Louis Amestoy, I'm Trevor Horn. Zach, don't miss you, buddy. Have fun in Vegas. Don't lose your wad. See you next week, guys.